Class, today we're going to talk about the law of attraction and the law of repulsion. Now, the law of attraction states that particles or objects with opposite charges are going to attract one another. So if you have a positively charged object and a negatively charged object, they're going to pull towards each other. The opposite is the law of repulsion. So particles or objects with like charges or the same charges are going to repel one another. So if you have a positive and a positive, they're going to push each other away. Same thing with a negative and a negative. They're going to push each other away. Let's demonstrate our electromagnetic fields using this simple toy train. So here we've got two positively charged objects, and if we bring one close to the other, what's going to happen? Oh, it's going to start repelling it or pushing it away. And you'll notice that it starts to do that even before it comes into physical contact with it. Now let's turn it around, and now we've got a positive and a negatively charged object. As we bring them closer, what's going to happen? Ooh, it sticks it together. The force of attraction or being pulled towards one another. So charged objects are able to exert a force or a push and a pull on other charged objects using electromagnetic fields. So around every magnet or charged object, there's this invisible field shooting out of it that is able to push and pull other objects. You can see a diagram of an electromagnetic field on the left, and then you can visualize it here on the right with iron filament and some magnets. You can click through this YouTube video to see exactly how he did this. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a couple activities that build on what we learned last class. So we're going to rub two objects together and create static electricity and then play around with it a bit. So remember, static electricity means electricity charges that are static, meaning they're not moving around. So rubber, like a balloon, is a good insulator. That means that electrons don't freely move around the material. So when we rub a balloon on some hair, some electrons flow from my hair to the balloon. They stick on the surface of the balloon and they're not going to move anywhere. So it creates a negatively charged section of this balloon. We also talked about electronegativity. So let's look at our triboelectric series on the left-hand side here. So things near the top of the list, human hands, hair, fur, cotton, these things tend to lose electrons. So they lose electrons and become more positive or positively charged. Things at the bottom of the series, like amber, plastics, Teflon, rubber, like the balloon, these are materials that tend to gain electrons. So they gain more electrons, they become more negative. They become negatively charged objects. So what you're going to do, your first activity here is you're going to demonstrate the law of attraction and repulsion. You're going to need two balloons and a piece of hair or wool or fur to charge your balloons. So what I want you to do is I want you to charge your balloons and then play around, see if you can demonstrate the law of attraction. So can you get two charged objects to attract one another? And similarly, can you demonstrate the law of repulsion? Can you get two negatively charged balloons to repel one another? Once you've got this down, feel free to upload a picture or a video of your results to the Google form. Now, a key with this experiment is that the force of an electric field isn't that strong. So you need to use objects that are really, really light, like a balloon. Otherwise, the objects aren't going to move. So if you don't have balloons to do this part with, don't worry about it. Just watch these videos instead. So on the left here, there's an example of the law of attraction using my son Sam here. He loved it. And on the right, there's an example of the law of repulsion with Bill Nye, and he gives a great explanation of what's going on. So again, if you don't have the materials, that's fine. Just watch these videos. They'll be great. Now, even if you couldn't do the first one, you can definitely do this second experiment. So Here, we're going to test out how different materials react to charged objects. So you're going to need some objects to charge. So you're going to need a good insulator, like a balloon or a plastic comb or something else plastic or a glass rod, something like that. And then something to charge it with, like hair, wool, fur. You should have those materials lying around your house. So what you're going to do is you're going to charge up those objects, and you're going to hold up your charged objects to a couple materials and see how they react. So first, hold up your charged object to some table salt, regular table salt at your in your kitchen. See what's happening and record your results on a piece of paper. Be careful not to touch objects because then your charge might try to escape and you won't have a charged object anymore. It's no big deal if that happens. You're just going to have to recharge your object every time that happens. All right, so once you're done with salt, do the exact same experiment with pepper. Record your results. Tell me exactly what happens. And then pick 3 materials around your house and see if they react to a charged object. Pick any 3 objects and observe what happens. Write it down. All right, so record your results. Once you're all done, go to the Google form and tell me your results, and I'm going to share everyone's results with the rest of the class. Now, I say this is hard mode, but really this is like impossible mode. So can you explain your experimental results? Can you explain what happened with the salt and pepper given this information? So here's the structural formula for pepper and salt. You'll notice that pepper has no overall charge. It's a neutral compound. Salt has positive and negative charges. So given this information, can you figure out maybe what's going on with these materials? This is super, super hard. If you don't understand or you don't get it, don't worry about it. If you have some ideas, share them with me on the Google form. There you have it. That's the law of attraction and repulsion. As always, the slideshow and Google form are going to be attached to the Google Classroom post. You got a couple quick lab activities to do here. Please ask your parent or guardian before you take or use any household items for these activities. And when you're all done, make sure you share your results with me on the Google form attached to the Google Classroom. As always with these classes, the work is going to be due before the next class. So please make sure you get your results in before our next science class, which is on Friday. All right, perfect. So you got a couple quick lab activities to do. Have fun, explore, do science.